welcome back to Flern. We are the internet's only daily photography and Photoshop TV show. I'm glad to be back, and your host, Avery Carlton.
I'm your host, Aaron Nace.
And we have a really cool episode for you guys today. Eileen, and we only picked your question because you have an awesome name. That's my middle name. And
yeah, that's the only reason why.
And her question was adding makeup. And what we're going to do today is cover defining someone's cheekbones and also adding blush. And I think this is a really important technique in fashion and portrait photography.
Yeah, basically what we're doing is just helping define the face a little bit. So we're not going to get too into like doing makeup or, you know, deep skin or anything like that. It's just a few things to help define the face. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. We're going to try to go quick. All right, so we've got our image. We just got this from a stock image website. And basically what we want to do is define her cheekbones a little bit. So I'm just going to make a quick sketch of what I want to be done. I'll just grab a nice pink color. Basically, when looking at someone's cheekbones, you want to, the deeper the cheekbones are, the more defined their face is going to look like. So you can see her cheekbone is kind of coming around there and going in about that shape. So we're looking at about like that, and that would be the shadow of the cheekbone. Let's say the light source is coming from down here. The light would hit here, and then this area would be in shadow. All right, so those are the shadow areas we're going to be working with, and then we're going to add some highlights and some rosiness to the cheeks. It's going to be awesome.
And if someone doesn't have defined cheekbones, I feel like this technique helps them out tremendously.
Yeah, totally. And you guys might not think this is that important, but it actually does really help with a lot of portraits. It makes people look more fashion-y.
Yeah.
All right, what I want to do here, what I want to do is we'll just make a new layer, and I'm going to grab my polygonal lasso tool, just this guy right here, and I'm just going to make a lasso selection right about the shape of these cheekbones, something like that. There we go for that guy, and then I'm going to hold down the shift key, and I'm going to do the same thing with this cheekbone here. All right, so we've got our two cheekbones selected. Now what I'm doing, I'm on this layer, I'm going to grab my brush tool, so we're going to hit B for our brush tool. And then I'm going to hold down Alt or Option, and that's going to bring up my eyedropper. So basically, I just want to sample a color that's already in her face. And using Alt or Option turns your brush tool into the eyedropper, and you can sample any color. So let's hit Alt or Option, and I'm going to sample a relatively dark color that's in her face, something like this. Not a light color, because these are going to be shadows. So let's go to a dark color. All right, and then continuing to hold Alt or Option down, I'm going to hit Delete. And that's just going to fill with that color. All right, and then we'll deselect by hitting Command D. So basically what we've done, this is the general outline for the shadows, and you ready to? Very nice. Let's keep going. All right, so we've got the outlines for the shadows. What I'm going to do is change this mode from normal down here to multiply, and that's just going to add that shadows in and just make sure we're not lightening everything. It's just going to be darkening it. Now the last thing I want to do is just add a nice blur to the image. So we're going to go to Filter.
She looks like a tiger.
She looks awesome, like a tigress. There we go. Filter, blur, and then Gaussian blur. And then we can just kind of decide on how much blur we want, depending on how defined you want those cheekbones to look. And something like that I think looks okay. There we go. And then we can just kind of lower our opacity as necessary. You don't want anything too crazy here. We're just looking to define those cheekbones a little bit better. That look good?
Yeah.
Now, if this isn't exactly what you want, you can always redo those triangles or something like that, or just stick a layer mask on here. Let's go ahead and look at that. I'm going to put a layer mask on here and paint with black at about 30% just to carve these cheekbones out just a little bit more. I'm just erasing from this area right there. And there we go. We've got some cheekbones. All right, now we're ready. We're ready. I'm Eddie. What are you?
Freddie.
Eddie and Freddie. There we go. We're ready to add some rose to her cheeks. So basically what we're doing, I'm just going to grab my brush tool again, hold down Alt or Option, and grab this color in her lips. And then I'm just going to paint right over here on her cheeks. There we go. Something like that. And we can just change this from normal down to soft light. And that's just going to give a little bit more of that rose color in her cheeks. Zoom in there. Make her look a little more alive.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it looks great.
Now, the last thing I want to do, there's just a little bit too much red kind of around her nose, so I'm going to show you guys a quick way to take care of that. What we're going to do is make a new layer. I'm going to grab my healing brush tool. We can just click and hold on here and go to our healing brush tool. We're gonna make sure we're sampling current and below because we're on a new layer. Basically what I'm gonna do is just hold down Alt or Option and sample right over here and paint right over the area I don't want to look so red. All right, and this is on its own layer, so I'm gonna paint on that side. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. All right, and then we're just gonna lower the opacity of this to where it looks a little bit better.
Nice.
There we go, nice and easy. All right, and there we have it. So here's our before and our after. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not like anything crazy, guys. We're just basically trying to make this into a cool, fashion-y portrait. So Eileen, thank you so much for your question. If you have your information, we're gonna feature you below. And guys, keep asking questions because this is how we do it. This is how we're thriving in Flern. We're answering your guys' questions. We're gonna be here every day to help you guys out, doing as much as we can. We're shooting a wedding.
We are.
Well, photographing a wedding. I used the word shoot. No, don't do that. We're photographing a wedding. We're actually traveling a few hours today, so we're gonna do the reception today, and then the wedding is tomorrow. So we're gonna be going on there, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Carlos and Heather can't wait to meet you guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Anything else?
I think that's it.
That's it.
We're out of here.
We're done. We're out of here. See you guys, we hope that helps out. If you do have any questions for future episodes, things you want to learn in Photoshop, hit us up. We'll help you out. Thanks a bunch, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.